Welcome to Safety at Work 101, a comprehensive guide to OSH compliances. Please take note, this video presentation is produced for general educational and awareness purposes only. It is intended to provide a basic overview of Safety at Work 101 principles. It does not constitute comprehensive professional training, legal advice, or engineering consultation. By continuing to watch this video, you acknowledge that you have read, understood, and agreed to these terms. Workplace Safety 101 is about creating a hazard-free environment by understanding and applying basic rules, such as using personal protective equipment, PPE, maintaining a clean workspace, following procedures, reporting hazards, and receiving appropriate training, all to prevent injuries and illness and to boost overall well-being and productivity. It emphasizes a proactive culture where everyone takes responsibility for their own safety and that of their colleagues, focusing on preventing slips, falls, chemical exposure, and ergonomic issues. The modules we are going to cover in this session are 1. The legal framework, responsibilities of employers and employees. 2. Hazard identification, unsafe acts versus conditions and the hierarchy of control. 3. Training and awareness competency, certifications. 4. Personal protective equipment, PPE, standards, serum, DOSH, inspection, and limitations. 5. Good housekeeping on the 5S methodology. 6. Safe practices such as permit to work, PTW, and lockout, tagout, LODO. 7. Emergency response preparedness such as fire response, PASS, evacuation, and first aid. 8. Ergonomics and manual handling such as preventing MSDs, lifting techniques, and workstation setup. Attention! Before we proceed further, please watch this video. During the session, you might be asked to answer some questions, and at the end, an assessment will be conducted to ensure you understand this training message. Let's start our training with Chapter 1, which is about Introduction in the Legal Framework. Welcome to Safety at Work 101. You are here today not just to satisfy a requirement, but to equip yourself with the knowledge that could save your life. In Malaysia, workplace safety is not a suggestion, it is a strict legal mandate governed by the Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994, commonly known as Act 514. Whether you are in an office, a factory, or a construction site, this act applies to you. Many workers believe safety is solely the safety officer's job. This is incorrect. Under Section 15 of the Act, your employer has a duty to ensure, so far as is practicable, your safety, health, and welfare. This includes providing safe systems of work, proper training, and maintained equipment. And remember, as an employee you also playing key roles here. Under Section 24, as an employees you all are obligated to comply with any rules related with occupational safety and health that determined at your workplace. However, the law places an equal burden on you. Under Section 24, every employee has a legal duty to take reasonable care for the safety of themselves and others. You must cooperate with your employer and wear the personal protective equipment provided. If you refuse to wear your PPE or recklessly endanger others, you can be fined or even face imprisonment under Malaysian law. The landscape of safety has evolved. With the OSH Amendment, Act 2022, a new power has been given to you under Section 26A. This section grants you the statutory right to remove yourself from imminent danger. If you have reasonable justification to believe a task poses an immediate threat to your life or limb, you have the right to stop work and report it without fear of undue discrimination. Safety is now, legally, in your hands. Chapter 2 is about hazard identification and control measures. To work safely, you must first learn to see danger. We classify hazards into two categories: unsafe conditions, such as a guarded machine or a wet floor, and unsafe acts, such as rushing, taking shortcuts, or using a phone while operating machinery. Studies show that over 88% of workplace accidents are caused by human behavior, unsafe acts. This means your choices define your safety. At the top is elimination, which physically removes the hazard. If we can't remove it, we try substitution, replacing a dangerous chemical with a safer one. Next are engineering controls, which isolate people from the hazard, such as installing machine guards or noise barriers. Then comes administrative controls, changing the way people work through rosters and signage. Finally, at the very bottom, is PPE. PPE is your last line of defense. If you are relying only on PPE, the hazard is still there, waiting for a mistake. Chapter 3 is about training and awareness. Competency is a combination of skills, knowledge, ability, and experience. You must never undertake a task for which you have not been trained. In the construction sector, having a valid CIDB green card is mandatory evidence that you have undergone basic safety induction. For other industry-specific high-risk tasks, such as operating a forklift or working in confined spaces, specialized training approved by NIOSH or DOSH is required. Training is not a one-time event. It happens every day during the Toolbox Talk. This is where we discuss the specific risks of today's tasks. Perhaps it rained last night, and the ground is slippery. Perhaps there is a crane operating overhead today. Active participation in these briefings is crucial. Do not just stand there, listen, process, and ask questions. If you don't understand the instructions, do not start the work. Chapter 4 is about personal protective equipment. Let's talk about your armor, personal protective equipment. In Malaysia, all PPE must meet specific standards. Look for the Serum certification label or DOSH approval on your gear. If your helmet is cracked, or if the suspension inside is torn, it cannot absorb the impact of a falling object. It gives you a false sense of security. PPE only works if it fits. Loose gloves can get caught in rotating machinery, pulling your hand in. Safety glasses worn on top of your head protect nothing. Hearing protection is often misused. For earplugs, you must roll them down to a small cylinder. Reach over your head to pull your ear up and back, and insert the plug deeply. If you can see the plug sticking out of your colleague's ear from the front, it is not inserted correctly. They are still exposed to damaging noise levels. Chapter 5 is about good housekeeping. Good housekeeping is the foundation of a safe site. We often apply the 5S methodology: sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. This isn't just about looking tidy. A cluttered floor hides trip hazards. A blocked aisle prevents escape during a fire. Piles of rubbish are fuel for combustion. Housekeeping is part of your job description. If you create a mess, whether it's scrap metal, packaging, or an oil spill, clean it up immediately. Do not walk past it thinking, the cleaners will get it. In that 5-minute gap, a colleague could slip and suffer a life-changing injury. Chapter 6 is about safe practices. For high-risk activities, we rely on the Permit to Work (PTW) system. This is a formal, written document authorizing specific work at a specific time. Whether it is hot work, like welding, working at heights, or confined space entry, the PTW ensures all safety measures are in place before you begin. Never start high-risk work without seeing the signed permit. If the conditions change, for example, if gas is detected, the permit is void, and work must stop. When performing maintenance on machinery, we must ensure zero energy. We use the lockout, tagout, LOTO system. You turn off the power, place your personal lock on the switch, and tag it with your name. This ensures that no one, absolutely no one, can accidentally turn the machine on while your hands are inside the gears. Your lock is your life. Never ask someone else to remove your lock, and never remove a lock that isn't yours. Chapter 7 is about emergency preparedness. Despite our best efforts, emergencies can happen. You must be prepared. Do you know the location of the nearest fire extinguisher? Do you know which one to use? Remember, never use water on an electrical fire. Use a CO2 or dry powder extinguisher. Recall the PASS technique. Pull the pin. Aim at the base of the fire, not the flames. Squeeze the handle. Sweep from side to side. If the fire is too big, do not be a hero. Evacuate. When the alarm sounds, react immediately. Leave your work. Do not stop to collect personal belongings or finish a task. Walk, do not run, to the designated assembly point. Once there, line up so your supervisor can do a head count. If you wander off, firefighters might risk their lives searching the burning building for you, thinking you are trapped inside. Chapter 8 is about ergonomics and manual handling. The most common cause is improper manual handling. When lifting a load, follow these steps. First, assess the weight. Is it too heavy? If yes, get help or use a trolley. If you must lift it, get close to the object. Feet shoulder width apart. Bend your knees, not your back. Grip the load firmly and lift by straightening your legs. Keep the load close to your body in your power zone, between your shoulders and hips. Finally, we address a hazard that harms thousands of Malaysian workers every year: ergonomics. Poor ergonomics leads to musculoskeletal disorders, MSDs, chronic pain in the back, neck, and shoulders. For those at workstations, maintain a neutral posture. Your neck should be straight, your shoulders relaxed, and your wrists flat. If you perform repetitive motions, take micro breaks to stretch. Report early signs of discomfort, tingling, numbness, or stiffness before they become permanent injuries. Remember, you only have one spine. Take care of it. Thank you for your active participation. We trust you now have a firm grasp of the essential safety protocols required to minimize workplace injuries. We look forward to seeing you at our next session. In the meantime, please remain vigilant and prioritize your safety. You may now proceed with the training assessment. Good luck.